Today we're looking at the causes of World War II. Hello, welcome to the Daily Bellringer. Please don't forget to subscribe and take a look at the questions down in the description. Also, don't forget to check out dailybellringer.com where you'll find more resources that go with many of the Bellringer videos. World War II was one of the most destructive conflicts in human history. It lasted from 1939 to 1945 and involved countries from all over the world. Estimates are that between 50 to 60 million people died in the war. There are many different factors that contributed to the outbreak of World War II. Today, I would like to share in no particular order some of those factors, bearing in mind that there are other contributing causes to the war beyond what is covered today. One of the biggest causes of World War II was the Treaty of Versailles, which ended World War I in 1919. Many countries hoped the treaty would bring peace, but instead it created anger and bitterness, especially in Germany. The treaty forced Germany to take blame for World War I, give up important land, and pay huge amounts of money called reparations. These demands severely damaged Germany's economy and pride. This gave rise to anger and a desire to restore Germany's strength. These feelings made it easier for Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party to gain support years later by promising to undo the treaty and make Germany powerful again. Another major cause of the war was the rise of dictators in several countries. During the 1920s and 30s, countries like Germany, Italy, and Japan came under the control of leaders who wanted more power and land. These dictators used nationalism, strict control, and military force to push their goals. In Germany, Adolf Hitler built a totalitarian government, which is a political system in which the government controls every aspect of society. The German people had little freedom, and the Nazi Party controlled everything. In Italy, Benito Mussolini created a similar system called fascism, which promoted strong leadership, national pride, and the idea that the state or government is more important than the individual citizen. In Japan, military leaders took control of the government and pushed for expansion across Asia. These leaders believed their nations had the right to conquer others, and they did not care about world peace or international rules. A third cause of World War II was the Great Depression, which was a severe worldwide economic crisis that started in 1929. People across the world lost jobs, businesses, and savings. People became scared and desperate. In times of crisis, citizens often look for strong leaders to solve problems quickly. This allowed dictators like Hitler and Mussolini to gain power by making bold promises and blaming certain groups for their nation's troubles. The Depression also made democratic countries like Britain, France, and the United States more focused on their own economic problems, causing them to ignore or overlook the growing threats in Europe and Asia. Yet another cause of the war was the aggressive expansion carried out by Germany, Italy, and Japan. These countries wanted to build empires and take over other lands. Japan invaded Manchuria in 1931 and later attacked China in 1937. Italy invaded Ethiopia in 1935 using its strong military to defeat a weaker nation. Germany, after Hitler came to power in 1933, began breaking the rules of the Treaty of Versailles. Hitler rebuilt the German military and in 1936 took over the Rhineland, an area lost by Germany during World War I, and then later took Austria in 1938. European leaders tried to avoid war by giving in to Hitler's demands, a policy called appeasement, but this only encouraged Hitler to take more. In 1936, Hitler signed an alliance with Mussolini, forming the Axis powers. A few years later, in 1940, Japan joined the alliance as well with Italy and Germany. Lastly, another cause of the war was the failure of international organizations, especially the League of Nations. Formed after World War I, the League was supposed to keep peace by solving disputes between countries. However, it had no real power to enforce its decisions. When Japan, Italy, and Germany acted aggressively, the League did little to stop them. Without strong action, these nations realized they could expand without facing consequences. As a result, they continued to invade and threaten other countries. All of these causes came together in 1939. Germany had already taken several territories, and Hitler now wanted Poland. Britain and France warned him not to invade, but Hitler ignored them. On September 1st, 1939, Germany attacked Poland using fast-moving armies and airplanes, a strategy called blitzkrieg. 2 days later, Britain and France declared war on Germany. This was the official beginning of World War II, although the tensions had been building for many years. On December 7, 1941, Japanese forces attacked the American naval base at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, which then prompted the United States to declare war on Germany and Japan. So with that, hopefully you learned something, and thanks for watching.